Hello everyone, my name is Laura Burns. In this tutorial I will show you how you can search with your Lightroom catalog keywords and your Excire Search keywords at the same time. In the tutorial about searching by keywords, you already saw how flexibly you can search with the Excire keywords. When you have previously assigned keywords in your Lightroom catalog, you then have the option to search with the Lightroom keywords or with the keywords that Excire assigned. You can see here that there are no keywords because basically the photos don't initially have keywords attached. They are in Excire, not in Lightroom, and so we can't see them here. But to be able to use those keywords in Lightroom, we must first transfer the Excire keywords to our Lightroom catalog. And Excire offers two options to transfer the keywords, but before we get to that, it is very important to note that before the transfer, you should definitely update your Lightroom catalog. And another important note, the option to transfer the Excire keywords to Lightroom is only available with the Pro version. If you want to check which version you have again, go to File, then to Plugin Manager, and in Excire. Under License, it shows which version you have. If you have the Pro version, like me, then you have the option to also transfer the keywords to Lightroom. And in order to do that, Excire offers two options. And the first step is to go to Library, then to Plugin Extras, and here you find the two options to transfer the keywords to Lightroom. The simpler method, and really the semi-automatic method, is just to transfer keywords. And the second option is to transfer keywords in batches. And they are both located next to each other. And before we start that, I want to give these photos some keywords. Therefore, I'm going to highlight all of them. This is, by the way, in Lightroom, so we are giving these photos keywords in Lightroom. And just so that this tutorial is very clear, I'm going to give these photos keywords that are definitely not Excire keywords. So I will make one 3 Ys, and I'll make the other keyword 3 X's. Confirm by hitting return, and no, I don't want that. And now we see that the first photo, the second photo, the third photo, and down to the last photo, all of them now have the X and Y keywords. And at the same time, you will see that Excire definitely does not overwrite the keywords that are in your Lightroom catalog. That is also very important. So you don't need to worry that all the keywords you have already assigned will be lost when you transfer over the Excire keywords. Excire assigns keywords in addition to your previously existing keywords and not in place of them. We will begin with the batched transfer keywords option. So go to Library, Plugin Extras, then there is the batched transfer. You can click, or naturally as an alternative, you can also use the shortcut. Then here is the window for the batched transfer. Just an additional tip, when there isn't a compelling reason to allocate keywords from Excire photo by photo, I suggest using this transfer option. It happens quickly and does a thorough job. The first option up here is to select if you want the keywords to be assigned through your whole catalog or just to the current film strip. I'm selecting film strip because I have here a small selection of photos, 31 to be exact, that I have compiled in order to show you the different functions and possibilities you have with the keyword transfer. Those photos are located here in a collection I have already provided. This collection is the current film strip. I'll show it to you now. Down here is the film strip. You can see that those photos are the same as the ones displayed because this collection is currently activated. And so I'll close that again and go back to transferring the keywords. The second possibility that you have is that you can exclude certain keywords. Excire will make sure not to transfer these keywords to your Lightroom keywords. This is very easy. You can either select one or a group of keywords. So first you click on the first keyword and then again on the last keyword in the group. Then click this arrow to the right and then the keywords will be added to the ignored keywords list and won't be in the transfer. But I don't want to do that and I'll send them back now. You don't have to go through this list to select keywords. You can also type keywords into this text field. Maybe you're already comfortable with Excire and Exire's keywords that it assigns. You can type it in and that goes much faster than looking through this list. This works exactly like how you are accustomed to Google working. You need a combination of letters or a part of a word or the word itself that you want to look for. And we can already see with just typing in AD, all of the keyword options that have those two letters in it. So for example, here is adult, then adventure, and then down here we even have road, which ends in A and D. But I don't want to do that, so I will get rid of that. I really want to just transfer all of the keywords that Excire allocated during the initialization process to my Lightroom catalog. By the way, you can also select all or deselect all of the Excire Search keywords, and in the ignored keywords column, if it has any words, it would work the same. You can also choose to select all of the child categories automatically. That is switched on by default, and you can actually also leave that enabled. The last point that you can make a selection on is here, and you can manually restore deleted keywords. If at a later point you want Excire keywords in your Lightroom catalog that you had previously ignored, you can at any time restore the keywords that you ignored with this option. And we will look at this more closely in a moment. You should, in any case, have this option on when you are transferring Excire keywords to your Lightroom catalog for the first time. And we've looked at all the options, so let's click Start. And the 31 photos that we have in this collection, all of them are supplied with Excire keywords. We'll look at them quickly. We see here with this top photo that along with the X's and Y's tags that we manually provided, there are now more keywords. In this case, here are the Excire keywords, and you can see that they are written as a hierarchy. And as I go through a few of these images, you can see, as expected, the assignment of keywords clearly differentiates between the images. And then the last picture of the mushroom also has received keywords. Here again are the X's and Y's I assigned, and now they are supplemented with the keywords that Excire assigned in your Lightroom catalog. After we have transferred the Excire keywords to our Lightroom catalog, they are now also totally normal Lightroom keywords. They now have the exact same properties as if you had created them yourself in Lightroom. And to see how that really works, here we can, and I'll select this photo here. So it's of plants, 3 dandelion flowers. And Excire recognized that it depicted dandelions. Now I want to search through my entire catalog for dandelions. And I want to open this up here. And then search under keyword and contain all, and then type in dandelion. And in my entire catalog, all 24,082 photos, there is exactly one result for my keyword search of a dandelion, and it's the image that is already in my collection that I will bring back up, to which Excire assigned the keyword dandelion. So once you have transferred Exire's keywords, you can search for them in the same way that you are already accustomed to searching through your Lightroom catalog. Next to the batch transfer, there is a second method you can use for transferring Excire keywords to Lightroom, and we've already seen it. I called it the semi-automatic method, Before we get to that, I'm going to delete all the keywords we just transferred to this collection. And then I'll type the 3 Y's and the 3 X's back in, so we'll begin at the same place we started at for the first method. Then I'll show you quickly that all of the photos have the tags, and that is the case. And now here, additionally, if it's the case that you want to transfer keywords picture by picture, then you can select one or more photos. So in this half automatic version, these 3 images will be used. So to do this example, we go to Library, to the plugin extras, and this time we won't select the batched option, but rather simply the transfer keywords option. Then the window arrives looking like so. First, we see down here that this is image 1 out of 3. So the first image out of the 3 that I selected, we see a relatively large preview photo. And here we have additional options for what keywords we can use for the transfer. Here we have the option that when I switch to the next option, so I've selected my keywords for this photo and moved on to the next, the keywords will transfer immediately when I click to the next image. Without that, you must click the Transfer and Close button. Beyond that, you see here the keywords that Excire recommends to transfer. To choose all of them, you can click the Select All button, or if you decide you don't want them, you can deselect all. Alternatively, you can select or deselect the keywords one at a time. So if you would like to choose more keyword categories from Excire, you can click here to select or deselect the categories, and they are keywords that relate to photo content, the dominant color that Excire notes, and the image properties. You can simply switch them on and off here. And finally, down here in this field, we see first the Lightroom keyword that we have already assigned to this image, both of the tags that I previously created. And furthermore, here you have the option to allocate more keywords. So I'll do that now and type in 3 A's and 3 B's. And because we are doing this in Lightroom, we have to separate the tags by commas, so it recognizes when one tag is done and the next tag begins. With that, I'm done with this picture, and I'm going to go ahead with the next, so I'll click this arrow. And you have seen that by changing the photos, the new tags have been added to our first photos keyword logs because we selected the option to automatically transfer the tags when switching to the next photo. Now I'll do it a little bit faster. Up here I want to allocate all of these keywords. Now I'll type in my 3 A's and 3 B's again, and then I'll click Transfer. And finally, again, I'll select all the keywords for my third photo, and again type in the A's and B's. And then I am finished, so I can click Transfer and Close. The rest of the photos tags remain as they were because obviously we didn't select them. But in the first 3 photos, we can now see the Excire keywords as well as the additional Lightroom tags I typed in, so the 3 A's and the 3 B's. Here we see again that transferring the Excire keywords did not delete or mess up the keywords that were already attached in Lightroom. So the 3 X's and 3 Y's are still there. If you have erased the Excire keywords from your Lightroom catalog, you don't need to worry. You can always go back and transfer the keywords to Lightroom again. All the information is in Exire's own databank that is separate from Lightroom, so you'll always be able to go back and retransfer the keywords. And to show you how that works, I will do an example with the first photo in this collection. I will delete the high contrast keyword. And then I'll go to the batched keyword transfer. And as usual, we will go to Library and then plug in extras and then the transfer keywords batched. And I'll leave the film strip option selected. Very important, you have to select this option, or rather leave it selected, to restore manually deleted keywords in order to restore our erased keyword. That's all I have to do, and so I'll click Start. That is already finished. When we look at the first photo, we see that high contrast is back. Very, very important. When you use this multiple times, or generally you remove the allocation of Excire's keywords in your Lightroom catalog several times, you don't need to worry that the keyword will appear twice or multiple times in your catalog. Excire recognizes which keywords are already in Lightroom and then transfers the keywords that are currently missing. So let's look real quick at the other photos to see their keywords. And you can see in the rest of the photos, the keywords don't appear twice. So the rest of the 31 photos were left as is, really. If the keywords that Excire provides don't fit perfectly with your photos, you can definitely change them in your Lightroom catalog, just as if it was any other keyword found in Lightroom. So you have to select the word that you want to overwrite. For example, I'll change unsaturated to saturated. And now this photo is tagged with saturated instead of unsaturated. Anytime you want, you can adapt, change, or naturally add more keywords. The Excire keywords that you have transferred to your Lightroom catalog are from that moment, like completely normal Lightroom keywords. And of course, that also goes for the data export. As far as your photos are exported from Lightroom and converted into another data format, the keywords are complete, and also with the Excire keywords, they are also in the exported data. So to finish, I want to show you that. Lightroom leaves its raw data in a so-called XMP file, or a corollary file. And in this file, there is a lot, not all, but quite a lot of information that is assigned to every photo in your Lightroom catalog. And you can write this information yourself in the XMP file with the shortcut Control or Command and S to update the data file and write the information. And now I will do that for this file. And I get this confirmation window asking if I really want to save the metadata, and I'll click Continue. And now we have, for example, with this photo, the current catalog info, or rather a large part of that information, archived. And we'll look at the XMP file that goes with it. So here's the photo of the flowers we have selected, and next to it is the XMP file. If this is your first time seeing an XMP file, don't let it scare you off. I just want to show you the keywords, and I'm going to put that to the background so you can see the keywords at the same time. So the keywords you see here are transferred from Excire and are now also located in the XMP file. So I will scroll down a bit, and here we get the first block of keywords, and you can see they match exactly with the keywords on the right in Lightroom. This is the first block. The hierarchy will also be transferred to the XMP file, and we have to scroll down a bit further. And now here we have this second block of keywords that are defined as hierarchies. We can see image color green, just as here we have color green. We have image content, the generic term image content, nature, image content, nature plants, image content, nature plants flower, image content, photography, and bokeh. And indeed, that is how the hierarchy is found here in the keyword tags box. Let me bring back the file. You can see that the information transferred from Excire is also written in the same way on the XMP file. That is one way, but naturally there is not just the raw data in the XMP file. There's also the data that you might transfer to another format, such as the JPEG, the DNG, or another format. Then that data that was recorded might not be so clearly readable, therefore we are going to look again in Bridge. I have, for example, for this photo that we've already looked at, a DNG file. Lightroom has recorded info for this photo in a DNG file, and we'll see if we can find the keywords in this file here. And we can see on the right the keywords that are found here in Lightroom are also here in this exported data file. Additionally, here we also have copyright information that I basically archived with the photo. So for this one, for example, I copyrighted it in 2006. This isn't in the keywords, but it's still a part of the metadata. Apart from that, we can also see the keywords I made in Lightroom, so the 3 A's, the 3 B's, the 3 X's, and the 3 Y's, and the keywords transferred by Excire. But not only that, it's also in a hierarchical format that we also see in Lightroom. It's here in this file as well. Of course, this goes not only for DNG files, but for all photo formats that Lightroom can export.